going down? It's your boy, Meyer Crawl, the host of Here for the Dads podcast. Today, if you can't tell, we're doing things a little bit different. Why are we doing things different? It's because tomorrow is Mother's Day. We got to do it a little bit different. But we got some guests. One that you're actually probably pretty familiar with now, it's Sony. He's going to be doing a mix of DJing, sound engineer, but he also brought his wife, Samantha. We're very, very happy to have her. But I did not introduce my wife, who you may or may not know, is Tiana. And what we want to do today is just have a conversation like we always do. But it's not going to be all about dads today. We're going to have a mix of some mother appreciation, a mix of some dad appreciation, a mix of whatever. When I first thought about it, I said maybe we can use this time to get the wives and the moms to give us a little bit more gripes and complaints that we can translate to the other dads. I don't know how well I can translate it because half the stuff I don't understand myself.
Me neither.
So, if anything, we just want to actually be able to take this chance to just talk and be able to communicate to both of y'all how happy we are to like really have y'all in our life. We talked to the kids today about just understanding that daddy might be, you know, a cool dad, a dope dad, like whatever. Like I might be fun or whatever, but I can't be the person that I am without mom, to be honest. Mom came into life way before the children did. Not always way before, but before the children are even thought of. And now that they're here, they just see us working together and kind of figuring it out. But they don't know what it really takes to kind of be the parent. You know what I'm saying? Like what the mother does, especially for a father, is bring balance. I was talking to my boy Dan today, and we were saying that for some reason it seems like for dads, when we become dads, there's no like, it's not always really, it doesn't feel natural. Like it doesn't feel natural to talk about parenting. Right. For moms, it always seems like y'all got some naturally inherited like spirit type thing that just comes about you. It just comes out as soon as you have the baby. For us,
that motherly instinct.
Yeah, the motherly instinct. It's not fair.
It's not.
We got to do better. I think, too, y'all get a little bit more preparing time because when y'all have the baby, you get, like, that full 9 months and, like, you know the baby's there. I don't know if this was like this for you, but when the baby was in the belly, they always say, like, oh, feel the baby and, like, do all that stuff. I just didn't feel connected the way mom felt connected.
No. By the time she said the baby kicked, I tried to put my hand there. It's like, nah, bro.
I just don't feel the same.
Yeah, and life doesn't really change for y'all until you see, feel, actually are holding the baby. For us, as soon as that test turns different color or that cross is there, you're like, oh man, everything changes immediately. Our diet, our clothes, the vitamins and prescriptions that we take, what we're eating, everything changes immediately. Whereas y'all, it's like, okay,
I'm thinking I got a 9-month DD. I'm good. Like that's my diet changed too, but it's a different kind of diet.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah. The kids, they don't know though. They actually, I think the kids do understand a little bit of who's in charge. They understand the difference between mommy and daddy. I read a meme today. It was like when a child asks daddy from mommy, what they're really saying is like the adult version of, can I speak to your supervisor? That's exactly what they're saying. Wow, it's like when they ask you for something, it's like, I know I want to ask mommy. It's like, go get the manager.
But I'm right here.
Yeah, they don't want that. Now when they want some gummies, some popsicles,
they're gonna come right to you.
They want to go outside.
It's the balance.
Yeah, you gotta have some balance though. It's always helpful to have something like that. I do want to ask a question about, I guess we could talk about Mother's Day first. Tell me about you guys first.
I can like that, bro.
Huh? I don't know. I think because I want it to be dramatic. It's really not even a dramatic question.
Like, I don't ask for much.
No, y'all don't ask for much. I mean, we'll leave it at that. Tell me about y'all's first Mother's Day. What does it feel? I want to know about the feeling of Mother's Day rather than like the gifts and like all that stuff. You go through your whole life just being girls to women to married, and then now, I guess what you want to call maybe the ultimate is Mother's Day, right? Is that the ultimate goal?
I don't know, to be quite honest, because Sony and I were talking about this earlier today. I made breakfast and all that stuff. I do weekend breakfast. We get the pancakes, eggs, bacon on Saturday or Sunday. And he was going to, I think Val asked for something, and he was like, I need to go get it 'cause it's Mother's Day weekend. I said, it's okay. I can get it. I can go do it. I got it. It's just another day. And he was like, no, but it's super special. And I was like thinking, and I was like, huh. It is a special day. But I feel like for me, becoming a mother, I still sometimes feel like a kid. Like not necessarily a kid, but it's like, oh my gosh, I have tiny humans.
Yeah.
I am the leader of these tiny humans, and I still feel like a tiny human sometimes. Like, Mom, hey, what do I do here? And so when Mother's Day comes around, it's like, oh, you're a mom. You're not a child anymore. And you see all these things on like reels and stuff where they're like, oh my gosh, are we now like the new adults that are in charge and whatnot? And I'm like, oh my gosh, we are the new real adults who are in charge. What are we doing here right now?
For sure.
And but so when you think about the first Mother's Day, I mean, it's a reminder that, okay, wow, I was blessed with this. Mm-hmm. We're gonna figure this thing out. But it's thankfulness, but it's also like, oh, wow, these tiny humans look up to me.
They belong to me.
And it makes me honestly appreciate my mom more as I look at motherhood, because I know right now, my mom being the mother,
just like that.
My mom being a mother of a 31-year-old child, she is still learning at the age of 50. You think about that. She is still learning, not that she parents me, but how do I be a mother at 50 years old to my daughter of 31 years old? And so I just like am more appreciative of her and like give her so much more grace, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
You said like it's not like she still parents you. Is there a point where we like actually stop parenting? Would you call what she is doing, is that just another stage of parenting, really? Because there's still things we need.
Look,
like
it's another stage.
Yeah.
I feel like, because at this age, we are the rule enforcers and stuff like that, and we keep them safe, keep them alive, keep them fed, keep them healthy, all that good stuff. But at some point, it changes to where I think my mom is at the stage right now where she has to step back and almost be more like a friend in some ways. Because she knows just the way she and I are. Do not tell me what to do, ma'am. But she can like slowly like ease it in some areas and whatnot. But I think it's still a form of parenting in some ways. It's just a different stage.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It might be it's like a perspective shift, kind of. I think when we talk about my parents, right now we're in the thick of it. We are parenting because every day these little humans are waiting for instruction or waiting for food, waiting for clothes to be put on them, waiting for everything. Yeah. What are we going to do today? And we are, in a sense, have tunnel vision, because it's like, okay, well, we get up and we do all these different things, whereas I can call Mom and be like, Ma, this happened today. And she's looking she has the peripheral view of it, so she can see the full picture and like kind of me intensified in it, but she also can see the side, and she has a different perspective than I do, so she can bring just new knowledge to me. She can give me tips and tricks on what worked for her, while at the same time she's not necessarily parenting me, but she's giving me a different way to look at something that might be a challenge for me.
I think that can be so hard. I feel like kind of has to be a skill, because imagine switching phases from being in the thick of it, because I feel like it happens fast, like being in the thick of it, to now going to a child's going to college and getting out of college and getting married and doing all this stuff, and now you have to use your peripheral view, your experiences to really help, but stay back far enough that you allow them to make mistakes and allow them to do stuff. And I guess what I think might be different is the perspective when we're talking about the mom versus the dad when it comes to that, because it seems like for dads, at least what I've seen so far, of course we're hands-on, but a lot of the stuff we do is from afar. Like we are always, just let them trip and fall. Like let them learn it themselves. Like let them bump their knee, let them scratch themselves up a little bit. But for a mother, when it's a lot more like they're a lot more of the nurturers. For the mothers, I feel like to go from that phase to like step back and like hope they call you, hope they ask questions.
Yeah. And
that has to be hard.
I feel like obviously I'm not a grandmother yet or a nana. I feel like that's what I want to be, a nana. But sometimes I see my mom struggling with not necessarily wanting to tell me what to do in the situation, but she tries to affirm me and try to say, man, you're doing a great job with those boys, or I see how active you are with them, and I only wish I could do something, or I wish I could do it over again.
Do what part over again?
Just parenting. Certain aspects of, I'm a hands-on mom, and I think I get out of the house at least once a day with the boys, but that's because I know my kids.
Yeah.
And I know what my children are like when they don't like being cooped up in the house. So if I tell my mom, hey, we went to the zoo today, and tomorrow we're going to go to Botanical Gardens, and then the next day we're going to go to the Firefighting Festival, she's like, man, how do you find all the energy to do these things? I wish I could have done that when I was a mom. And so when you were little. And I feel like she, in a sense, wishes she could do something different and wishes she can go back and do it all over again. But I'm like, no, Mom, you did exactly what you needed to do.
What you needed to do.
You did it in a way that it's providing me the chance to tweak what I need to tweak. And I appreciate you for all that you did for me, because if you hadn't did what you did, I wouldn't have known that, this is a good way to run a household, and I wouldn't know the things that I do. Like, I'm a better version of you because I saw what you did, and I just have that different. I'm adding to what you taught me.
Yeah.
And teaching my kids the same.
You set the foundation, and she
there you go.
really had those building blocks, because you got to do that first. The need.
Yep.
You got to do the need.
Well, I have a question. Right? So so we've been doing this Here for Dad's podcast.
Yeah.
Well, we're wrapping up the season soon, right?
Yep. This is episode 9, right?
So as moms, right, looking in, I know y'all probably listened to the past episodes. What would you say that from hearing us that you're like, oh, wow, I taught my husband well?
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, I wouldn't be half the dad that I am now if I didn't learn the things, the patience, and the having a soft spot.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes we could be a little bit too strong.
Yeah, that's true.
So looking back, what are some of the things you could probably chime in and be like, oh, he's been listening.
Yeah, y'all have been listening. I think sometimes I feel like I'm not the only wife. Sometimes I feel like you only listen to, like, I can say something over and over and over again, but you're like, all right, T, all right. But someone else can say the same thing that I said, use the exact same tone, the exact same words, and you're like, huh, that makes sense.
It's human psychology.
It's a difference because somebody else said it, and I feel like listening to your other podcasts and hearing how open you all are about communicating about being a dad and like the emotions that are tied up into it, and it's not just like I'm a dad, and it's okay to be hands-on with your kids. It's okay to talk about needing therapy, needing an outlet, needing something like this. It's okay because it's easy cooped up in your household or cooped up in your mind and be like, man, this is tough. And I think that hearing the podcast is showing that, man, like, you want to learn how to communicate these emotions and that it's okay to let yourself feel and be in the moment. But at the same time, you need structure. You need to find an outlet that is healthy so that you can be the best dad for your family.
Yeah. And I would say just interacting with the kids. Like, we hear about the traditional dad who's, like, he's not involved, he sits there, he watches game and stuff like that. And it's amazing to hear about the dads who are involved and what it looks like for them and how it might look a little bit different for some dads and whatnot. But it's beautiful to just hear and see that, okay, this might be the stereotypical or the stereotype of what dads are. But you guys are, actually listening to what other people are saying, listening to your wives and spouses, and just actually, interacting with your kiddos and feeling all the emotions that come with that. Yeah. And watching them grow and kind of just figuring it out as we wives do too. But I think that just listening and hearing the dads who are there in the thick of it too. I think it's beautiful to be able to hear that so that other dads can know, one, if you're not stepping up for whatever reason, and it's like maybe a masculinity thing where I'm not going to feel the feelings that are involved with being a dad, I'm not going to get overly involved because that means I'm too soft and whatnot. I think it's beautiful that there are dads who can show, hey, this is what we're supposed to do, and breaking those cultural norms and just talking about it.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. Like, just talk about it.
Just talk about it. Talk about
I feel
speak.
Like communication. I feel like wives are like, can you communicate?
Can you communicate?
Can you tell me how you feel? What do you think about that?
It's just like,
and it's beautiful to see that is.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that we don't. It's not. I don't think it's that we're not built like that. Cause I think we're built like that to talk and communicate. Cause when it comes to girls, like we had no problem. Yeah, we had no problem talking about girls. But it's like when you talk about like dad stuff, like as a kid, it's wild. I guess like society just kind of bred us to talk about everything else but that. It's like almost fed into like the stereotypical father role where it just wasn't even talked about. So it wasn't like it didn't matter or anything like that. It's like it just wasn't put in our plans to do. But like in appreciating mothers, because we're talking about appreciating, Mother's Day and everything like that. In appreciating mothers, I appreciate the community that you guys have built around each other. It's one thing that I always love to see. Like one thing we did while we were in Guam was hop on like a mother's page that was going to be extremely helpful. Anything that she needed, she could always reach to like the next mother, like right next door, and they would always be willing to help. What are some things that you think that we could do to help strengthen the father community so that we have each other so we have each other's back a little bit more, I guess?
I think this right here is step one. Just talking about it, because I think it has to be normalized, where dads can reach out to dads. Because I think men will reach out about men stuff. And the way I'm saying that is on purpose, because they won't reach out about needing help with their kids. So I think starting this, having the podcast and creating this open community and open space to just talk about those things, I feel like that's step one. And then just having those conversations like outside of a podcast, bringing up hard topics, and just, I don't know, just talking about it. As simple as it sounds, but I feel like that is what needs to happen. I mean, maybe online forums and stuff and Facebook and stuff, but I think it really starts at a basic level, like posting on your social media about your kids. If you think about it, if you look at all of your guy friends and whatnot who have kids, who typically posts more of the pictures?
It's usually always the wife. Yeah.
Yep.
So starting there, showing that you are an involved dad and posting those pictures and just breaking down those norms.
Yeah.
And I think that as other guys start to at least see that. They'll say, "Oh, it's normal. I'm supposed to be there with my kids and whatnot." And I feel like society is changing now.
I do. I agree with that. I feel like it's becoming more normal. I feel like maybe dads are starting to get more of the what do you call it? The baby changing stations in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Boy, I got some stories about those, dog. I still remember after having a Zai, like having to change him in a bathroom without one. And I was in Virginia Beach, and I didn't even have like the baby bag with the changing pad and stuff in there. I had to change him in a sink, and it was,
oh my God.
it was horrible. I just remember, and it was number 2, so it was it was no joke. But society's changing, and I think for the good, and it's becoming extremely helpful. And like what you said, like just doing the small stuff, like posting. But I think I'm like ready to start having like the hard conversations, like really dive in. Like I think within the last couple of weeks of having the podcast, like I've actually felt myself feeling a little bit more confident reaching out to some of my friends who are fathers who I know are actually going through stuff, maybe like wife's in a hospital with the baby, or like the baby's going through like some type of diagnosis that's not understood, and like different other things, like something we just say it sometimes in passing. I found myself a little bit more confident about asking them, like, "Hey, bro, like, what do you need? Like talk to me," or just doing a little bit more like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they say like, "I'm good."
I think that's needed.
Yeah.
I think not to, go super deep and whatnot, but when we went through the miscarriage and whatnot, I had friends and family members ask me, and my whole family is all women.
Oh, okay.
Literally all women. No men.
At all?
No one has had a son.
Oh,
there
wow.
are, zero.
Zero.
Like, I kid you not, from my grandmother down. Grandmother had 4 daughters. Her 4 daughters have between 2 and 3 daughters, and then all of my cousins have all had girls so far. And so my one cousin and one of my friends reached out, and they were like, how is Sony with all of this? And I thought to myself, because I'd wondered, how is he doing? But I never, even as his wife, I didn't really think, how is it impacting you? And so that's also a norm that has to be addressed. And I started to do research on just, how do men cope with this? How do they get through it? And as I started to do that, there's barely anything.
Wow.
That talks about how do men cope with that? Because people think, a miscarriage, it's just the woman.
Right, they forget.
But in talking with him, it was deeper than that. And so I think having those hard conversations, how are you doing? I think it starts there. And even with like Val in the hospital, I had some friends who were like, "Well, Sony's going to go to work, right?" No, he's with his daughter.
Yeah, he's with his daughter.
He's with his daughter. He that's the norm that they would go.
Yeah.
But thankfully, he can sit here and work, and we can both do that. But I think breaking down those norms and just having those conversations and asking people, "Hey, how are you doing?" Because most, from what I had researched and whatnot, most men aren't asked. I mean, did people ask you?
No, I mean, I think this is what opened the door to this podcast, because the only real person outside of probably my brother that asked me like, "How you doing?" was Myron, right? And I think that's what put a bug in his head, because call it what it is. Society has created this image that a man is like pretty much like a rock, right? Right. And we talked about this. We were also taught that we have to be a foundation.
Yeah, you got to be the rock.
Right. We are, but we're still a living being.
Yeah.
Right. So we have inner feelings, and I read a book. This is why, and I can't wait till we go deeper into some of this. This is why people have these negative outlets, because they've been taught to just be a rock for so long, right? When we're actually not a rock, so we're gonna crack. right? So when we crack, that's when all of the pain comes out, like pain from years ago.
Yeah,
But it comes
it's
out
deep. It's deep within,
yeah,
right? And
it comes out
and now it's spilling out.
towards something that doesn't even have to do about it. Right? So, I mean, it's great that we have this evolving system that we're creating to let people know, like, hey, you can be able to flip a car over, but at the end of the day, something happened to your child, you gonna feel that,
Oh yeah, you're gonna feel it.
right?
Yeah.
So like the whole a man shouldn't cry stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Man, I think that's below. Like we have to be soulless,
Yeah.
right? And I'm grateful that I have a wife that believes you can express yourself, right? I can communicate with you, right? And things like that. And I'm glad we have this so other people can use this as a model, like, hey, communicate.
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's something that you might not like the answer to it, still communicate. Right? And
That's
I
true.
learned.
That's
because
true.
that was one of our biggest,
Oh.
oh my goodness. There was a person in Sony's life, or a few people in his life, who were they were trying to quote unquote mentor and help him as like, I'm a man, you know, I have a great life and just follow me and stuff like that. And so they would, you know, suggest to him, you know, don't worry your wife. Don't tell her all the stuff she doesn't need to hear. It's gonna worry her. And
Ooh,
I had to
yeah.
teach him. I was like, no,
No,
That's-
don't do that.
Don't the opposite. That's the opposite. Tell me everything.
Yeah.
And so now we've kind of been able to find a space where he doesn't necessarily have to tell me everything, but you know, just that communication. Tell me.
That's where men get trapped, right? When we think we got the answers, we write this math problem down, and we figure that like if we don't tell her, or like we can just do all this stuff by ourselves, we can figure it out. We got the solution. When we don't add the moms, the wives, the lady into that math problem, we fail every single time because they have a formula that we do not have. Like, and that's just it. If I tried to do half the things that I think that I should be successful at by myself, absolutely nowhere in the world I'd be successful. Because I know my wife has a formula that I do not have. Don't you got the formula, babe?
Most of the time.
But that's where we go wrong. So we have to add the wife in the calculations, and as a father, it's good to also be able to add the wife into when we're having challenges, being able to talk to them about that too. Because yes, now we're talking about, you know, dads talking to dads, because I think it becomes a locker room talk that we need. We feel a little bit comfortable speaking to other men first, but we got to understand that this is only practice. Like, this is us being able to talk to each other. Hey, I'm saying this. How does this sound? You know, I'm getting a little bit vulnerable. Okay, oh, cool. I said it, but I didn't cry, so I'm good. Now I can take this to my wife and know how to communicate it a little bit more and actually know what I mean, or helping myself understand what it is that I'm feeling, so that the mother can now come and, because y'all kind of nurture us. I don't want to say y'all mother us, but once we let go of our moms and like allow them to go do their own life and they go into a different phase of parenting, not only are y'all mothering the children, when we get sick, I know for a fact, man, I like for my baby to come
Big
take care of me, bro, you know.
Big facts.
So
See, I ain't the only one.
that's the truth, man. It's something that you need. Man, y'all, moms are gangsters for real.
Gangsters.
Y'all are jacks of so many different trades. And I just be asking you stuff Jills, excuse me. Jills of trade. Jills of trade. This is not even. It's supposed to be like spades. I can't say. Well, we'll say jills. Whatever.
We can be jacks too.
Yeah, exactly. I can do whatever y'all want to. I expect y'all to have the answer to everything. I want to talk about what does it feel like to have that type of pressure. Not that y'all should get that type of pressure all the time, but y'all get that pressure from society. But I think that you sometimes get it from inside your own home. All the kids expect you to have the answers. Mm-hmm. I know. Even I'm looking at we got a robust medicine cabinet. I ain't read not one instruction on any of that medicine. We don't got a medicine kit. We got a closet. Bro. A whole closet. But I expect my wife to know. So when I pull out that children's towel, I'm like, baby, how much of this stuff the child supposed to take?
But you know what's funny?
Talk to me.
We just know. Because as you're saying that, in my mind, I'm like 7.5 milliliters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And
for
so,
Val, yeah. And 5 for Avery.
I was going to say,
it changes for his eye, too.
And so...
we lost that.
But it's funny because I think it comes back to what's ingrained and into us. Mm-hmm. Those societal norms. Like, because as you're saying that, I'm laughing really hard inside. I'm like, 7.5. Wow, why do I just know that off the top of my head? I can just spit it out. And I think it really just comes to us. Like,
I'm laughing because you ever had those nights you want mom to sleep, so then you get up to go figure out the medicine stuff.
Oh boy, what?
So it takes us 15 minutes,
please,
bro. Right? And then when mom wakes up and figured out you were struggling for about 10 minutes, she comes right through for 1 minute.
No lights on.
No lights on.
I can have my eye mask on and be like, I got it.
Don't it make more sense now? You remember when you was a kid and your mom used to tell you to go find something, you could never find it? And she said, if I come downstairs and I find it, I'm whipping the whole house, right? And you're like, there's no way there's no way my mama gonna find it. It ain't here. It ain't on the shelf. I'm looking exactly what she said. It ain't on there.
And she walking towards it, just staring at you.
She walk right up to it, grab it like it's magic. You like
here.
But it's mother magic. Yep. It's mother magic that y'all just got. Where the daddy magic at?
I think sure it's a magic, but I feel like it's important to know that it's a pressure that we have. Yes, it happens for some. For most, I feel like it happens. Most moms it just
turns on.
It turns on. Some moms it might not, and that's okay. But it has to be a balance, because when I feel the pressure too much, you gotta know how to release that pressure lid and let some steam off. So it's important that I can tell you, hey, I'm feeling myself. I almost need a break. And that's when you know, okay, well, I better sleep now, because the next few days, I don't know when she's gonna call for me to put me in the game, coach. But I think it's important to know that for me, yes, I can manage the household, and I can be mom and be the doctor when needed, be the dentist when the teeth are falling out. I can do things for all the kids and keep the house running, but I can only do what I can, because I know that when I need a break, I can call dad, and dad is going to be able to step in right on time. So it's important to know that dads do matter, and you have to show up so that you can at least know where the medicine cabinet is.
That's our magic, is I guess being able to pop in. Like, I think dads can be very like reactionary, right? So we can be ready at last minute's notice, like enough to keep the pieces together. Like, there's stuff that we are definitely good at, but it's almost like the jack of all trade or Jill of all trade, as you will. We're prepared enough to be able to get like the job done, because what you don't want is anybody to crack, no matter if you're a rock or if you're a malleable piece of clay, like, or whatever it is. We don't want anybody to be able to get to the point where you're not communicating that you need a break, that you're just having too much. I know coming into parenthood, I didn't understand what being overstimulated was. Like, what is overstimulation? What is being touched out? Like what do you mean being touched out? Like, we got married, like like the baby's gone, like we in the bed, like you don't love me? You don't wanna touch on all this right here,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I had to understand that I don't have to experience it myself for me to want to understand it. Like, I have to go seek to understand it too. And then I didn't have to also understand that parents, mother and fathers, go through different things as well and different experiences, because there's still single dads out there too who are going through the same thing. So it's a different challenge, a different struggle for different parents in different places who also need to be able to speak and talk and be understood. Man.
So you just opened up something that I want to talk about.
Talk to me.
T, so for those, what advice do you may have for those that may not have a significant other to go to if they hit that wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So what are some options that might be out there for those folks?
Okay. So
Okay.
I think I can bring a different perspective because I was raised by a single mom, and my mom, I know from a child when she needed a break, I think it looked like us going to grandma's house or us going to auntie's house, and hey, auntie's just gonna go do your hair, spend the night over there. You go hang out with your cousins. She's gonna take care of you while mommy's doing X, Y, and Z. Now, as an adult and as a mom who, when I need a break, it might look like, all right, we're gonna go find a play gym during the day because dad has to work. And we're going here, and there are other moms or other parents that are around that I can talk to, because if I just need another adult to talk to, I got somebody over there, because your kids are here playing with my kids. I can watch my kids while I'm talking to people. Or I'm going to look for Mother's Day out, or churches that has little drop-in cares. Hey, I'll watch your kid for 2 or 3 hours a week so that you can get the time and attention that you need. Or building a community. Finding other moms, finding a spouse at his job that understands his crazy work hours that might need to be, hey, I need to call you because my kid is sick. Dad is at work. He can't get home. And I need to take one kid to the ER without having to drag all 4. So forcing yourself to find a community, one, and understanding that.
Forcing yourself, I like you said.
Yeah. Understanding that it's okay to need help. It's okay to ask for a break. And it's okay to sometimes just, hey, let's turn on the TV or let's turn on some music and we're going to dance. Y'all go dance in the living room while I go take a shower real quick. Because that can be a break too.
I like you said it, because we're going to talk about Mother's Day gifts here in a second, but we're talking about just going to take a shower could be a break. We're talking about like last minute like Mother's Day gifts. Like what is it that mothers really want? And Sam, I'm gonna let you probably answer a little bit more of that, but like when she was talking about that, I was just, trying to rattle off a few things. Ooh, Bed Bath Beyond, girl, I'm gonna make you a little basket, throw some wine in there, boom. You know what I'm saying? Get your car clean, shawty, like, the stuff you be wanting, right? That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
And I give you some time, you know what I'm saying? You can just leave the house and you just do however many hours you want. We'll be at the crib. Yeah. And she was like, wait, what makes you think that, like, I want to leave the house? Like, yes, I want time alone, but sometimes it would be nice to just be able to sit in the house and just relax with my pajamas on my couch,
Precisely, actually,
eating
all of
my
that.
chips,
Yeah.
eating my nasty
I know
ice
where
cream.
everything is.
Yeah.
I don't have to clean. He's like, oh, I'm going to get you a hotel room for Mother's Day. And I was like, thanks, but just take the kids to the park for an hour.
Yeah.
Let me have a house that's quiet. I know where everything is. I don't have to like search for or disinfect anything or wear shoes if I don't wear shoes.
See, I don't be thinking that
Stuff
hard.
like that.
I like
It's
the cold sheets in a hotel.
I don't necessarily need a night. If I need a night, I'll ask for a night. But right now, it's like, the twins are still very small, but I don't need that much time.
Right. Yeah. It's just, I guess the idea that we sometimes have, I asked Azai like what does mommy like to do? And like he said, like, oh, she likes to clean. Like, no, she don't.
I'm
Like,
glad he thinks that.
He does that. She might do that a
Look,
lot.
cleaning with a smile.
They think what we do a lot is like what we like. But Sam, what are give me some mommy's gifts for some of the daddies out there who are gonna hear this last minute and not have some stuff to do.
Fold all the clothes. Fold all of them.
Oh, don't say
Fold
that.
them. Okay, fold all of them, and then after you fold all of them, hang them and put them away.
Oh, you making me cringe.
But it's really, it's not necessarily for me at least.
Hey,
It's
Siri,
not.
remind me to fold all the clothes.
It's not the stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the stuff. It's perhaps taking a task off, or for me, I love time together. Like I really wouldn't say, okay, take the kids, go somewhere, go to the park, but hey, do you want to like cook the meals for today? Cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we can have them as a family together. And then you can do the cleanup and stuff like that. But I think just taking some of the tasks off. And I'm not really a gift person.
Are
I
you
feel
acts
like
of service?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm more that and time together. So do
Okay,
stuff.
smart.
Do stuff for
But
me,
I
and then do
I
stuff
think
together.
I'm hearing like acknowledge the role that we're playing and all of the things that
That we're doing.
mothers have to do. The laundry, the cleaning, the all of the mundane things that sometimes it's like, hey, I got some clean socks to put on. Yeah. Thanks, T. Today I'm gonna fold the socks. I'm gonna match some socks.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Just acknowledge and help
heat
out.
to it.
If you can't tell, but I don't really like laundry. I do a lot of stuff in the house. I clean.
No, but
I
mean,
slave
and
over
if
that
you-
hot stove.
If
Lord
you don't
Jesus.
like laundry, hey babe, here's a certificate. Somebody's gonna call this number, and one day this week they're gonna come pick up all the dirty clothes, and they are gonna bring them back the next day folded. They have
That-
those things.
We got a cleaner one time. And the lady didn't even really clean the house because we can keep the house clean. Clothes.
Yeah.
We
Everything.
She
fold,
folded.
and I think she spent like 2 hours.
She folded,
Just
bro.
2 hours just folding and folding. And so that is a gift. That seriously, bring a cleaner in and give them the tasks.
Yeah.
But
Just get. Why do we have so many clothes? I feel like y'all are like this too. It's like it's impossible. You can't catch up on clothes. And I don't know we wear clothes like every day.
It's a blessing, though. It's a
It is,
blessing.
it
So,
is.
and this is a tip that one of my friends, Jonna, she used to say, hey, she's a stay-at-home mom. She has 9 children, I believe, now. And she said that she used to see laundry as such a chore, but then she started praying for whoever's clothes she was folding. So she's like, that's a cool thing that she does when she's folding little Elias's clothes. Like, she's just praying for him, and as she's matching his socks, instead of it being like another shirt, it's like, Lord, I thank you that he has a shirt to put on. You know, I thank you for his growing body. Wow, look how big he is now. So it's seeing a different, being grateful for the little things and changing what could be a chore into something happy and something that can be good. Now, everybody's not going to want to do that. And
Right.
some people are still going to pay for that laundry service.
I'll pay
But-
for it. I don't want to. I'll just be honest with
But
you. I don't want to fold. Sony, I don't want to fold the clothes.
It's
bro.
finding the little things that can honestly, it can change my day. Like, if I know that, hey, Meyer knows on Saturday nights or Sunday mornings we strip the sheets and flip, everybody gets clean sheets for the week. If he at least just pull the sheets off the bed, I'm like, he knows that this is something that has to be done every week. We're going to start the week with new sheets. That can go a long way. Now, there are still some moms who want their gifts. Give them their gifts. Husbands, know what your mama, know what your wives like.
You like coffee?
I do like coffee.
I don't know what kind, but I'll keep getting all of them until she says she like it.
I do like coffee, but it's knowing what the mom in your life needs.
Yeah. I don't want to say y'all should speak up more about it because I don't think that should be. It just sounds wrong to say like y'all should speak more about it, but I do want to say that we do take note. Like we try our best I think sometimes to like take
But I think
note,
it's good.
but I want to hear you say it because
No, I think it's good to do that though. There was something I watched one day last week, where it was a husband and wife, and they talked about how the wife, and it's practiced across all holidays, all birthdays, where so that expectations are not like misunderstood, and they know. She said, there's still the element of surprise, but she said, I will tell my husband that I want to do some type of outing, and I want to have some type of Italian food, and she'll give him ideas or boxes, so to speak, of what she wants, and then she still leaves the element of surprise up to him to do.
How do you feel about that? Would
I
you
love it.
practice this?
I think I did. I did say
Y'all did
that.
kinda
Some
do this?
things too,
Okay,
Sony.
good.
We've done that here and there.
Okay.
I think it worked out.
Good.
Because I feel like there's a lot of like expectations that people have,
Yes.
and then when you set these bars like super high, and then they're not met, but it's like someone else doesn't know that expectation.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. For me, hey, tell me what you want, and I'll do the same, and still add for the element of surprise, but it prevents one from being disappointed. And it's not bad
Yeah.
to listen. If they're not gonna know, and then I'm gonna be upset because I didn't get what I wanted, why not just say what I want?
Yeah.
And that comes back to communication for me. I'm a big communicator and
Yeah.
whatnot, and so no, just say it, ladies.
Yeah.
Say it. Say it.
Yeah.
Guys, take note too.
You think that some people have. I think people get expectations from TV sometimes.
Oh yeah.
What are some moms' expectations from TV or whatever that's not real that you're like, you know what, like air it out right now?
Mom expectations, just in general.
The people
We'll say social media and TV because social media does it a lot too. We talked about it a little bit before this. Like when you get on influencer pages.
Yeah.
Now I get on your Instagram all the time when I get bored with my own Instagram. 'Cause I got just like random crazy stuff that just pops up on mine. So I get on hers so I can just calm myself down from like all the dopamine of my Instagram. But I see all these Instagram pages of all these like stay-at-home moms or influencer moms or whatever, and the house is like super clean.
The refrigerator.
Oh my God, the refrigerator's
refrigerator.
organized.
Open like that.
And like they got
And it's just like
they got white
meticulously,
couches.
Look at
like-
my 4 drawers in my freezer.
Right. Like I'm looking at like all these
ahead and
white
take
couches and I remember
Go ahead and take that.
I remember even like looking at the refrigerator
Okay.
and I'm like, okay, you know what? We were going, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hook it up. I'm gonna make the refrigerator just like this
Okay,
one.
go ahead and take them.
I went to Home Depot just to even see what the storage bins look like. You know how expensive just to get some organized storage bins
So
are
expensive.
for some fruit? Like, I was like, no. So I think that's one expectation. And I'm not a mom. I'm not even a mom. I'm just throwing it out there because that was something that I saw looking at your Instagram. I was like, I think that sometimes could be a bit unrealistic.
No, absolutely. And I think the clean houses too. Like, I love how they're slowly becoming more influencers who are like, yeah, this is my messy house. There's one page of this family with 4 boys, I want to say. 4 boys, just like you guys. And they record all the chaos. They record the screaming, they record the
There we go.
crying,
The chaos.
the temper tantrums, just the throwing of the food everywhere. And I love watching their page because I'm like, that is real.
That's real.
That is normal, and it's okay. And I think just normalizing what like toddlerhood looks like,
Yeah.
and
Tolerterrorism.
We did-
That's what we're going to start calling tolerterrorism.
Yes.
I think didn't you call Valerie a terrorist?
I did call her a terrorist today. I said to Sony, I was like, yeah, I put her down for a nap so that, she wouldn't be a terrorist later on tonight. He was like, you called her child a terrorist. I said, she is a terrorist. I love her. And normalizing that. Normalizing, like, the truth. Like, moms, I love my baby girl, but oh my goodness, she
Sometimes
drives
a
me up
lot.
the wall. And so just normalizing that. Yeah, love them, but they're a handful, and I kind of want to flick her in the head sometimes. Like,
I think one for me is that we have all the energy in the world and we like to wake up early.
Yeah, y'all like to clean and fold clothes too.
I think I personally maybe 4 or 5 times out of the week so I can have some me time. I like waking up early and it like sets my day. But like I don't have all the energy and I'm not like, yeah, let's go, 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 go. I think sometimes social media can portray, hey, I need to have 50 different activities prepped for my 3-year-old to do during the day. And it's okay just to sit at home and go out, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Or go outside to the backyard and kick a ball. And that's enough. Or let's put the water table in the shower and let the kid just take a shower while he's playing.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do in your house without having to feel like you gotta go out and spend money. Or feel like the stress of putting the kids in the car, like putting on clothes, finding the matching shoes, all that stuff, that can be a lot and stressful. Sometimes you just don't have the energy or the time to care about it.
Yeah.
I think that it's important to, hey, just slow down and just find something in the house. Let's go color, draw and chalk.
Yep.
Well, what I want to say, 'cause I know we're not gonna end this conversation right here. This is gonna be, of course, the end of episode 9. But from both Sony and I want to let you both know, as our spouses, the mothers that's the closest to us right now, that we truly appreciate having you both in our lives, understanding us, and doing all the things that we know you do and all the things that we don't even know you do. All the things that we constantly appreciate you for and all the things that we sometimes don't say or appreciate you enough for. We thank you, we love you, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. We out.